Shalom, shalom. Giving our honor and praise to the Most High, this Son, Yahweh Shai. Coming to you on a Wednesday class. The name of the class is called I'll Never Leave You Nor Forsake You. Man, it's a big subject to deal with. I know on the hindsight, when brothers and sisters looking at this subject, it's like, oh, it seems like it's fairly easy to cover, but it's really not. Because a lot of times when the Lord says, I'll never leave you nor forsake you, it makes you get into the mindset, well, when should I lean on the Lord, or when should the Lord come protect me, or when can He save me out of these conditions? But it takes endurance for the Most High to come get you. The Most High is the reason why I say that's why He say prove a friend, because He's constantly proving us. You make it through one situation, you get into another situation, He proves you in that situation. You make it through another situation, He proves you in another situation. This is a constant thing. And that's why the Most High tells us, man, He'll never leave us nor forsake us, but guess what? We got to be on the right path. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1. The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1. These are the things that the Most High said we will deal with. And it's good for us sometimes to keep on bringing these same scriptures out, because sometimes, brothers and sisters, ain't getting the gist of it. When you get there, I'll read it.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens.
So the Most High God tells us He said, to everything there is a season and a time to every person, a purpose under the heaven. The Most High God called it seasons. You know what we call it as human? As people, we call these things emotions. We call these things straight up emotions, or you and your feelings. No, these are seasons that brothers and sisters is going through. But as people, we call them emotions, but the Most High God called them seasons. Because when a person laughing and joking, and somebody's in a mourning state, and so he come in with jokes, guess what is that person doing? He's in that joking emotion. Just like they in a mourning state. These are emotions that we call them emotions, but guess what? The Most High God calls it seasons. You don't bring jokes around. You don't bring jokes around when somebody, say for somebody's mother just died. You think you'll come in there joking, or you gonna come look at the situation like, dang, bro, you all right? Or sis, you all right? These are the things that the Most High God is trying to get us to understand. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 5. We'll get straight to it. Gotta do a lot of reading today because we're gonna cover a scripture and story. Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 5. When you get there, I'll read it.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Let your conversations be without covetousness.
So the Most High God is telling us, let our conversation be without covetousness. Read.
And be content with such things as ye have.
Because the Most High is explaining to us the things that we have. Learn to be content with the things that we have, man. And it's a hard thing for sometimes for our people to go through and to see. Because that's why our eyes never stop wanting. Read.
For He had said,
What do you say, y'all?
I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee.
So this is written in the Bible that the Most High God said He'll never leave us nor forsake us. Why did He say that during, He just mentioned about covetousness. Let our conversation be covetousness, without coveting. But then it went on to say, I never leave you nor forsake you. Let's go to Sirach chapter 14 verse 9, man. Let's go see what he's talking about, man. Sirach chapter 14 verse 9. If you get there, I'll read.
Book of Sirach, chapter 14, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
A covetous man's eyes is not satisfied.
Read that again.
A covetous man's eyes is not satisfied.
Read on.
with his portion.
Because this is why the Lord telling us to learn how to be content in the things that we are in. That if the more Most High have to give you every single detail of your want, man, then what's the purpose of us being him being God for us? The Lord said, man, I gave you something, learn to be content with these things, man, because a lot of times we really don't be this way, man. Read.
And the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul.
So in the iniquity of the wicked dried up his soul, man. This is how the Most High looking at a person that's always got to cover his eyes or got to cover his heart. And he expecting us to move differently than the world, man. Let's go back, man. Hebrews chapter 13 verse 5. Read it over again, huh?
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 5. Let your conversation be without covetousness.
Read.
And be content with such things as ye have.
Because this is what the Lord expected us to learn, how to be content in the things that we have, man. Read.
For he had said,
What he said?
I would never leave thee nor forsake thee.
Let's go get what he's getting that from. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 31. The Lord said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. Where did he get this from? You got to understand everything that's in the new, they got it from the old. But it takes a brother of understanding sometimes to bring these things out, because when you see a person that's full blown reject the New Testament or the Old Testament, they full blown reject the whole Bible, man. Read that out. Verse 6.
Deuteronomy 3 and 6.
31, verse
31.
6.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them.
Read.
For I, the Lord, thy God, he it is that doeth go with thee.
Read.
He will not fail
Read.
thee, nor forsake thee.
So he said, he telling us to be a good courage and be. He said, man, look at, man, keep yourself in good faith, man. Keep your strength up, man. He said, because look, the Lord said, I'm the one that's gonna go with you. That's why he said, learn to be content in these things, man. Because he is the one that's gonna go with us in our journey, man, in our path in this life. The same way the children of Israel was doing back then is the same way the children of Israel are doing right now. We don't think that the Lord is with us because we're on our day-to-day walk and things happen in our lifetime. But if the Lord said, I'm going to be with you, we got to expect for him to be with us at all times, man. No matter what our situation, the things that we go through, man. Read on.
Verse 7. And Moses called unto Joshua and said unto him,
Read.
In the sight of all Israel.
He said in the sight, because this is after the Most High told Moses that he wasn't going to the promised land. Now he called unto Joshua in front of all Israel, man. Read.
Be strong and of good courage.
He said, be strong and of good courage. Learn, saying the same thing in Hebrews 13 and 5, saying, but it's saying it in a different form. He's telling you, learn to be content. Read.
For thou must go with this people unto the land which the Lord had sworn unto their fathers
Read.
to give them, and thou shalt cause them to inherit it.
Read on now.
Verse 8. And the Lord, he it is that doeth go before thee.
So now, the reason why the Lord telling us to go to be content in the things that we have, because the Lord said, no, I'm the one that's going to go before you. If we know the Lord is with us in all things, we got to know that the Most High God is going to go before us to make sure our way is the right way to be going. Read.
He will be with thee. He will not fail thee. Neither forsake thee.
Read.
Fear not, neither be dismayed.
So now he's telling us to fear not, neither be dismayed, man. We can't be dismayed at how these things go upon and go around in our life. Because the Most High God is going to be the one that's going to be in control of all things. If he's the one that said he's going to fight for us, telling us to hold our peace according to Exodus 14 and 14, guess what? This is something that we must do as a nation of people, man. And the Lord is requiring for us to think like this, man. He's requiring for us to get ourselves in the right manner, man. Now he's talking about, this is Moses was telling the children of Israel before they went into the promised land. We're going to go tap into this. Deuteronomy chapter 1, start at verse 1.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 1.
Read.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of Jordan,
Read.
in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Tophel and Laban, and Hazarah, and Dizahab.
Okay, jump down to verse 5.
Verse 5. On this side of Jordan, in the land of Moab, began Moses to declare this law, saying.
So now, it's saying that, like, same thing that was in verse 1 is saying, verse 5 is going into a little bit more detail. That Moses was in the land of Moab. That's the same land that Moses was buried at. The same land that Ruth came out of. If brothers and sisters will understand the history of Ruth. Because I hear a lot of Israelites saying Ruth was a Moabite. No, we actually dwelt in the land of Moab. Just like when Moses was buried in Moab. She been a Moabitess, just like we are American, but we are Israelites.
That's right.
No different. The Most High God not going to call a Moab woman to be in front of all our foremothers, Sarah, Rebecca, and she gonna go call Ruth to give her a book as a Moabite. Come on, man.
Here go an example. Esau lives in Holland in the Netherlands. Some of them come from Holland in the Netherlands, but then they done conquered South Africa and moved there, and then they call themselves South Africans. Does that make them South Africans? No. They just living in South Africa. But they know where they come from, the Netherlands and Holland and Europe and stuff. But wherever they place they foot at, they call themselves whatever that is. And that's what a lot of people do. And that's what happened in that case of Ruth, what I'm talking about.
Big come. Read on up.
Verse 6. The Lord our God spake unto us in Horeb, saying, Ye have dwelt long enough in this mountain.
So now this is going into us walking for 40 years and 40 nights, man. But as we going from one place to the next place, the Lord is going to start breaking down in detail how the Lord was trying us and how we was taking over different lands, man. We're going to touch into that today, man. Read on.
Turn you and take your journey and go to the mount of the Amorites.
Read.
And into all the places nigh thereunto, in the plain, in the hills,
in the plains and in the hills, read,
and in the bow, and in the south,
read,
and by the seaside, to the land of the Canaanites.
So now we conquered even the land of the Canaanites, but guess what? We got some Israelites saying that we are Canaanites. No, we dwelt in the land of Canaan, just like the example again, we're Americans, but we're Israelites, but we went to the land of Canaan. The Lord just gave us these lands, man. It's no different, man. That's a simple-minded Israelite, man. Read on.
And unto Lebanon, unto the great river,
read,
the river Euphrates. Behold, I have set the land before you. Go and possess it.
So the Lord said, guess what? He gave us instruction to go to all these lands. I set before you all these lands. Go and possess these lands. Read.
Go and possess the land which the Lord swore unto your father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to give unto them and to their seed after them.
This is the same thing Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 6 through 8 is going into. Read.
Verse 9, and I spake unto you at that time, saying, I am not able to bear you myself alone.
So now this is Moses telling them, as the children of Israel, there was a lot on Moses' plate. He sat in front of all Israel all day long judging the people until the father-in-law came along and told the Most High put the spirit on the father-in-law to tell him, you're going to wear yourself out, man. You cannot sit around here judging the people all day long. You just think about even coming and bringing it into modern day terms. Do you think as people congregations grow, you think they can be sit out here and deal with every detail of every single person in their congregation? It's just not going to happen. You got to have other people that sit up that be ready to do the job. But if their ass is not ready to do the job, they can get back too. Everybody's head is on the swivel in Israel. This is not a game for the Most High. If he said in order, the Lord said, if I say it, I'm going to make good on it. According to Numbers chapter 23 and verse 19 and 20. He said, matter of fact, we're going to get it right quick. We ain't going to butcher it out. Numbers 23, verse 19 and verse 20. Get there, I'll read it.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 23, verse 19. God is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man
Read.
that he should repent.
Read.
Hath he said, and shall he not do?
So the Most God said, if I say it, shall I not do it? Read it.
Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good?
So he said, if I spoken, shall I not make it good? Read on.
Verse 20, behold, I have received commandments to bless, and he hath blessed, and I cannot reverse it.
It's no reversing when the Most High God says something, man. That's why, guess what? But the Most High God will have compassion. That's why the Most High said, there's no unrighteousness in me. Because I'm going to have mercy on who the hell I want to have mercy on. What the Lord say? I'm going to have mercy on who I want to have mercy on. You can't say nothing against me. If I choose to have compassion on somebody. Let's go back to Deuteronomy. Chapter 1 and read verse 9 again.
Deuteronomy 1 verse 9. And I spake unto you at that time, saying, I am not able to bear you myself alone.
Let's go get there, man. Numbers chapter 11 and verse 10. He said he's not able to bear us by himself alone, man. Read this out.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 11, verse 10. Then Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent.
Read.
And the anger of the Lord was kindled greatly. Moses also was displeased.
So now, this is right after the time that the Most High, they saying that did the Most High take us out of Egypt for him to kill us? And the Lord, because they was hungry, they wanted something to drink, so the Lord gave them manna. And so the Lord gave them manna to eat. And now they still in the tents after the Lord gave them big plates of manna. So when the Most High heard them griping and complaining, he was mad, and Moses was mad too, man. Read.
And Moses said unto the Lord, wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant?
So he asked the Most High, have you afflicted thy servant? Read.
And wherefore have I not found favor in the sight, that thou layest thy burdens of all this people upon me?
So Moses said, look, Lord, you laid all these people burdens upon me, man. And Moses is like, man, this is tough. Because the Most High gave him a job to do, but he telling the Most High, look, Lord. He said, man, look, I'm your servant, but do you lay all their burdens upon me? Read.
Verse 12. Have I conceived all this people?
So he said, have I conceived, are these my people, Lord? He's really being a smart ass to the Most High. He said, have I conceived these people? Read.
Have I begotten them?
So now he's really going in a little deeper. Just like he said, like Christ is his begotten son. He said, have I begotten them? Read.
That thou shouldest say unto me, carry them in thy bosom, as a nursing father beareth the suckling child,
Read.
unto the land which thou swerest unto their fathers.
It's the same thing where it's going in Deuteronomy chapter 1. The same thing is going into Deuteronomy chapter 31. Read on.
Verse 13. Whence shall I have flesh to give unto all this people?
So he said, man, Lord, he said, how can I be the one that gives flesh to all the people, man? Read it.
For they weep unto me, saying, give us flesh, that we may eat.
So now they telling Moses, give us some flesh that we may eat, man. Read.
I am not able to bear all this people alone, because it is too heavy for me.
So now that the work is being set, the work is already being set. Now Moses said to the Most High, he said, man, this is too much for me. Guess what? We got people in this walk right now saying that this work is too much for them. We got people, guess what, can't put their own personal feelings to the side for the greater good of just don't know, just this endurance for this small time gonna be pleasure for eternity. Can't put ourselves aside just to, like the Most High God gonna let you go through these things by yourself, man. Like you the only one that ever went through something. Woe is me. Woe is me. Read.
Verse 15. And if thou deal thus with me, kill me.
So Moses said, if you gonna deal with me like that, Lord, just kill me then. Boy. But guess what? Just letting you know, in all the glory that Moses had, he still went through things himself. He was just a man just like us, man. He went through things. Read.
I pray thee, out of hand, if I have found favor in thy sight, and let me not see my wretchedness.
So he's telling, well, Lord, if I got to watch these people and watch myself go through this wretched stuff, Lord, just kill me. I got all these burdens of these people on me like this. Just don't know. You ain't called you, the Lord called you. We got to accept this. And just by the Lord calling us, we got to deal with this thing, man. We have to deal with it. I don't care if somebody done vex your spirit 1,000 times. Deal with it. You got to learn to deal with it. Because if you don't endure to the end, you will not be saved. Because we're not saved. We're not saved. You got to endure according to Matthew 24:13. You have to endure to the end. Read.
Verse 16. And the Lord said unto Moses,
Read.
gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou knowest to be the elders. The elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation,
Read.
that they may stand there with thee.
So now the Lord said, okay, that's too hard for you. Go get you 70 men and put officers over the 70 elders. And guess what? We're gonna set them in front of the tabernacle congregation. So they can be able to judge the people. When he's talking about staying with thee, this is going into judging the people with Moses, man. Read on.
And I will come down and talk with thee there. And I will take of the spirit which is upon thee, and will put it upon them, and they shall bear the burdens of the people with thee.
Read.
That thou bear it not thyself alone.
So the Most High always makes sure that we don't bear these things alone. Why you think when brothers go through something, they got brothers to talk to, sisters to talk to, so they don't have to bear these things alone, man. It's not set up. When people saying that they are solo Israelites, that's off. You can't do it by yourself, because what happens, You go off into a different doctrine. You go off into, you allowed to go anywhere. And guess what you think you are? You think you right about what you're doing. You cannot bear these things alone. Moses in all his glory seen the backside of the Creator. He literally seen the backside of the Creator. And he couldn't do it. How in the hell you think you got enough strength in you that you can do it? It can't happen. It cannot happen. Even with Christ, when he came to the earth as a man, guess what? He had to pray to the Father. The Father sent sent angels down there to comfort him before he died. Because he needed it. He couldn't do it by himself. He wasn't strong enough to cross the threshold by himself. So the Father sent comforters there for him to make it. And if people don't think that you think you can do it by yourself, try it. You be the next person that don't believe in the Bible. You be the next person that try to find a loophole in the Bible to do what you want to do. And that goes into destruction. No matter who it is. May it be our mama, our father, our brothers, our sisters, our wife, our children. No matter who you are, you try to find a loophole in this word instead of following it as it is written. You're going to get yourself in destruction, man. We cannot play the game with the Most High. It's got to be His way and His way only. We can't keep playing the games, man. Let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 10. Yeah, I'll read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord your God hath multiplied you.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, ye are this day as the stars of heaven, and for multitude. Shalaki.
Read on.
Verse 11. The Lord God of your fathers make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are.
So now the Most High said He multiplied us as basically as the stars of heaven, man. And you know we can get that precept out of Genesis. Some people got that written down in their Bible, Genesis 15 and 5. Your brothers and sisters don't have that written down in their Bible. That is the precept to it. Genesis chapter 15 and verse 5. Also, let's go to 1 Kings chapter 3. No, not 1 Kings. I'm jumping the gun. Go to Genesis. I want some on it. Genesis chapter 13 right quick. Genesis chapter 13. And Genesis chapter 13 and verse 14.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 13, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said unto Abraham, Abram, after that Lot was separated from him.
So after this, the Most High separated Lot from Abraham, man. Read. Start at verse 14 again.
Verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 14 again from the top. And the Lord said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up now thine eyes, and look from the place where thou art northward, and southward, and eastward, and westward.
Read.
For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever.
So now it's telling that Abraham, look, you look out, wherever you see, north, south, east, and west, I'm going to give you all these lands, man. Read.
And I will make thee thy seed as the dust of the earth.
So now he said he's going to make our seed as he's going to make Abraham's seed as the dust of the earth, man. Read.
So that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed also be numbered.
So now he telling Abraham, if somebody can number the dust of the earth, then now you can number Israel. But guess what? Out of all the multitude that the Most High gave our forefather Abraham, all the knowledge He gave Abraham couldn't number the dust of the earth. But guess what? We only need 1/3 to go back home though. Out of all the multitude, we just need 1/3, man. In the seal of 144. That's all we need to go back home. We don't need the whole 3/3 because everybody's not finna accept this thing. When hey, it is what it is. Jump over to 15:5.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 15, verse 5. And he brought him forth abroad and said, look now towards heaven and tell the stars.
And so he tell Abraham, look at the heaven. Now tell the stars, man, read.
If thou be able to number them.
So now he just telling you, well, he tried to say it. So now he said, well, just number the stars then, man, read.
And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be.
So shall thy seed be. But you know we in the city. So being in the city, you can't see the stars like this. But if you live out in the country, maybe so many stars in the sky, it's hard to even see the dark spot in there. There will be so many stars out there. That's the beautiful sky that the city don't get a chance to see. Even though y'all live in the city all y'all life, y'all ain't got a chance to see it like this. Just throwing it out there, shot in the city. Let's go back to Deuteronomy, chapter 1, and verse 12.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 12. How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance,
Your problem, Greek.
and your burdens, and your strife?
So now he's telling you, how can I bear your problem, your burdens, and your strife, man? Because this is what people deal with in Israel. They deal with their problems, their own personal problems. They deal with their own burdens, and they deal with their own strife that they got against people, or they got against whatever they got to strife with. So most of my strife go against in the traffic. I'm just throwing it out there. So people have their burdens. People have their own problems, and people have their own strife. So Moses, how am I able to bear these things, man? Read.
Take you wise men, and understand, and known among your tribes, and I will make them rulers over you.
So he's telling Moses, guess what? To deal with these problems and these burdens and these strife, take you wise men of understanding and known among your tribe to make them rulers over the people, man. This sounds like the Most High is setting up a camp, because this is how camps are ran. The people they got people that's in leadership, they got more, as the congregation grows, they move up more people, and these people help to deal with the burdens and the strife and the problems that people got. So when people saying that you don't go, I ain't dealing with no camp, the Most High is setting up a camp right here. Literally right here. Read.
Verse 14. And ye answered me, and said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do.
So now he said the thing that the Most High spoken is good for us to do, man. Read.
So I took the chief of your tribe,
Read.
wise men, and known, and made them head over you, captains over thousands,
Read.
and captains over hundreds, and captains over 50,
Read.
and captains over tens, and officers among your tribes.
Read on.
Verse 16. And I charge your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brothers, and judge righteously.
And do what?
Judge righteously.
Because guess what? This is our job in Israel as leaders and as men of Israel, to start making sure that we judge righteously according to the Bible, man. Read.
And judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with him. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great.
Read.
Ye shall not be afraid of the face of the man.
So guess what? Now the Most High setting up and He telling them and giving them order. I want y'all to judge the people according to, guess what? The Most High law, statutes, and commandments. The Lord said, I don't care how they look. I don't care damn how mad they look or how much they don't like what I got to say. If you judge according to the Bible, you don't give a damn how you look. Get mad. Same way you can get mad, the Most High gonna make you right back glad. You gonna be like, oh Lord, I'm just playing. Oh Lord, I'm just playing. Yeah, you be like, yeah, you just playing. And I keep putting that butt whooping on your butt. Read on.
For the judgment is God.
For the judgment is who?
God.
He said the judgment is God's, man. Read.
And the cause that is too hard for you,
read.
Bring it unto me, and I will hear it.
So now, guess what? Most I said, you know what? That cause too hard. Guess what, man? The captains can't handle it. Okay, Moses right there. Moses gonna be the mediator to go talk to us, talk to the Most High God. But we know damn well we don't want to talk to the Most High God because we tried it. Then when we tried to talk to the Most High God, what happened? We couldn't take it. Matter of fact, hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna see what happened when we tried to talk to the Most High God. Go to Exodus chapter 20 in verse 18. This is what happened when we tried to talk to the Most High God.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 18. And all the people saw the thundering and the lightning and the noise of the trumpet.
I bet they in the people see the noise, they see the thunder and lightning. Then after they see the thunder and light, they see trumpets coming out of the sky. Like, what the hell is that? Read.
And the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off.
So when the people seen all the lightning and the smoke of the mountain, they removed. They like they fell back. Like, hold up. Read.
And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die.
So guess what now? We already know we don't want God to speak us because we don't want to die. That's why they said, no, Moses, you do the talking. You, whatever's coming out that mountain and all that smoking, you talk to that person, you talk to him. They like, no, we're not talking to him because if we talk to him, we gonna die. So we tried to talk to the Most High. They didn't work out too well for us. Let's go back.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 18.
Verse 18, read.
And I commanded you at that time all the things which ye should do.
So now, the Most High God gave Moses the understanding of all the things that they should do, and he commanded the people to do the things. It sounds like, just like, matter of fact, go to 1 Kings. This is why I want 1 Kings. 1 Kings chapter 3 and verse 8. It sounds just like one of our other forefathers and what he did. Because when he became king, he didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to deal with the things of the children of Israel. But he knew who to talk to get these things answered, though. Read it up.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 3, and verse 8. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou hast chosen, a great people,
read,
that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude.
So now this is going into the children of Israel, the same thing that we just read back in Deuteronomy and in Numbers. Read.
Verse 9. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great a people?
So now, this is even King Solomon in all his glory. He's looking at, well, Lord, look. He's like, Lord, look, who can judge these people? This is the greatest nation in the world. How can I be able to judge these people righteously? To be able to discern between the good and the bad. How can we discern these things? By keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments, judging us according to the scriptures. That's how we be able to do these things. But guess what? Sometimes when we look at things in the hindsight, we be looking like, I don't go with it. But then we go in the scriptures, we find out, well, the Lord say this, they make everybody supposed to concede when the scriptures come out. Whatever you feel, it's supposed to go away. If he feel like something and I feel like something, we go to the scriptures, and the scriptures say this, he got to concede, and I got to concede too. That's just how they got to go. If we're not thinking like this, we're not thinking spiritual. We are always going to think carnal. Let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 1, jump down to verse 21.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 21. Behold, the Lord thy God has set the land before thee.
So the Lord set the land before us, man. Read.
Go up and possess it.
So the Lord, he's telling us, go up to possess this land, man. Read.
As the Lord God of thy fathers had said unto thee. Fear not.
He said, fear not. Read.
Neither be discouraged.
So he's telling us, don't be discouraged, man. Read.
And ye came near unto me, every one of you, and said, we will send men before us.
So they sent out spies. It's giving a detail of what happened in Numbers chapter 13. They sent out spies. Read.
And they shall search us out the land, and bring us word again by what way we must go up, and unto the Shalaki, and unto what cities we shall come. And the same pleased me well. And I took 12 men of you, one of a tribe. And they turned and went up into the mountain, and came unto the valley of Ishkol, and searched it out.
Searched it out, man. Read.
And they took of the fruit of the land in their hands, and brought it down unto us, and brought us word again, and said.
So now they went into the land, and they went in and they took good fruit, and they supposed to be brought back good word of what was going on. The Most High God, if people paying attention to the story, the Most High God told us God. He told us, he gave us that land. He's saying that y'all, I'm telling y'all to go over there and get the land. But guess what? We said, let's send out spies. Moses said, guess what? It pleased me for y'all to go send out spies. So you want to go send out spies? Go send them out then. The Lord said, okay, go on ahead and send them out. So once he sent them out, this is what happened. Go to Numbers 13 and 21. You know, some people should have this thing probably already highlighted in their Bible, but this is what happened. We'll get straight to it. Numbers 13 to 23.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 13, verse 23. And they came unto the brook of Ishkol.
Same thing we just read. Read on.
And cut down from thence a branch with one cluster of grapes.
So they tell me because they had to bring the fruits back, man. Read.
And they buried it between two upon a staff. And they brought of the pomegranates.
Read.
And of the figs.
So now they brought the pomegranate and other figs, man. Read.
The place was called the brook of Eshcol. Because of the cluster of grapes which the children of Israel cut down from thence.
Okay, read on.
And they returned from searching of the land after 40 days.
So after 40 days, they searched that land for 40 days. And then they brought back a cluster of grapes, man. Read on. Verse 26.
Verse 26. And they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel into the wilderness of Paran.
Paran, yeah. Read on.
To Kadesh. And brought back words unto them.
And brought back words unto them. Read.
And unto all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land.
So they went back and they showed them the fruit of the land too, man. Read on.
Verse 27. And they told him and said, we came unto the land, whether thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey. And this is the fruit of it.
So now they gave back a good report, said, yeah, this land flowing with milk and honey. It's got good fruit and everything there. Read on.
Nevertheless,
But here you go.
the people be strong that dwell in the land.
So now he's telling, but these people that's in the land, they strong. When did we forget that the Most High God told us to go get the land? Read.
And the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak.
So they saw the children of Anak. Let's go back, man. We're gonna tap into the children of Anak. The Anak. What we stop at? Verse
20.
Jump down to verse 28.
28. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 28. Whether shall we go up? Our brethren have discouraged our hearts.
So now they telling them the same, because the children of Israel that went out there told them that they got this land flow with milk and honey, and this land got a lot of fruits and everything there. But in that same report, they say nevertheless, they got them Anaki people there. They great in stature, they big tall great men, and the story is gonna explain. Because they gave them a bad report. Now they forgot that the Most High God said he'll never leave them nor forsake them. Read.
Saying, the people is great and taller than we.
So they're telling us that the people is great and taller than us, man. Well, that's the reason why, you see, guys, that's why I got these stories in the Bible talking about King David going against Goliath. That he was worried about how big and tall he was when the Most High God said he was with him, man. He didn't give a damn how big it was, man. Read on.
The cities are great and walled up to heaven.
She said they city walled up to heaven. They got these big old gates on their cities, man. Read.
And moreover, we have seen the sons of the
Anakims.
Anakims. There. Then I said unto you, dread not, neither be afraid of them.
So he said, man, dread not, man. Neither be afraid of them, man. Read.
The Lord, your God, which goeth before you.
The Lord gonna go there before you. Don't worry about them people. The Lord said, just go there. I'm gonna go there before you. Read.
He shall fight for you.
No, you gonna fight.
He shall fight for you.
No, the Most High God said, I'm the one that's gonna fight for you. This is something that we have to get in our mind. Give a damn how big, how tall they be in stature, how big the wall or how great the city is. The Lord said, go there. I'm gonna fight for you. He's gonna go out before us, and the Lord said he's gonna fight for us. Read.
According to all that he did for you in Egypt.
So he said, according to all the things that he did for us in Egypt, man. Read on me. Jump down to verse 36.
Before your eyes. 32,
36.
36. Verse 36.
Oh, my bad. Shalaka, verse 35. I'm like Benaniyah. Verse 35.
Verse 35. Surely there shall not one of these men of this evil generation see that good land, which I swore to give unto your fathers.
So now the children of Israel, they start murmuring because they got this evil report not to go to this land, forgetting that the Most High God told them to go to this land to take these lands. The Lord said, you know what? Says y'all want to murmur, y'all want to complain, y'all won't go over there. Said nobody in this generation will go. Let's imagine the Lord is doing this right now, man. Know that none of us in this generation, with all the wickedness that we got going on in ourselves, that we found out we the children of Israel. Now here we still complaining about what the Lord doing, and He tell us, man, y'all can't go neither. Imagine that He tell us in our generation we not gonna go. It's pretty tough, man. It's pretty tough. Read on.
Verse 36. save Caleb,
He said, but save Caleb, man, read.
the son of Jephunneh.
Mm-hmm.
He shall see it,
So Caleb gonna see the land, read.
and to him will I give the land
Mhm.
that he had trodden upon,
Uh-huh.
and to his children,
Uh-huh.
because he had wholly followed the Lord.
He had separated himself and he followed the Lord, man, read.
Also the Lord was angry with me for your sakes,
Mm-hmm.
saying, thou also shalt not go in thither.
So he told Moses, you ain't going in either. Read.
But Joshua, the son of Nun,
Mm-hmm.
which standeth before thee,
He said, but Joshua the son of Nun, which standing before thee, read.
he shall go thither.
So Joshua gonna, Caleb and his children, his generation, they gonna go, and Joshua gonna go too, read.
Encourage him,
Uh-huh.
for he shall cause Israel to inherit it.
So, but guess what? Even though Moses wasn't gonna go neither, but the Most High still gave him straight instruction. He said, but even though you're not going in with Joshua, encourage him. Encourage Joshua to go. Encourage him to be a leader. The same thing that we're reading in Deuteronomy chapter 31 when we first read, when the class first started, on how the Most High God said that we were supposed to be. How Moses was encouraging Joshua to lead the people in front of all of Israel. This is the same thing that the Most High God told us even in all our glory. Jump over to Deuteronomy chapter 3, verse verse 18.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 3, verse 18. And I commanded you at that time, saying, the Lord your God hath given you this land to possess.
So now, the Most High God gave us these land to possess, but also while he gave us this land, he also killed out these two wicked kings, Bashan and Og. He killed out these two wicked kings. Read on.
Ye shall pass over on before your brethren,
Uh-huh.
the children of Israel,
Uh-huh.
all that are meet for the war.
So everybody that was meet for the war, he said they gonna all pass through there, man. Read.
But your wives and your little ones
Mm-hmm.
and your cattle,
Uh-huh.
for I know that ye have much cattle.
So, because guess what? The Lord knows, after we defeated these lands, we took much cattle. We took the spoils. But we dominated the people when we smoked the people. Read it.
Shall abide in your cities,
Mhm.
which I have given you,
Uh-huh.
until the Lord have given rest
You said-
unto your brethren.
And to the Lord, guess what? We gonna keep on when we take over this thing. Even guess what? It's bringing up into these final destinations when the Most High send His Son back to bring this world in submission. Guess what? We gonna be dominating every nation. Every nation gonna be dominated by our King, man. And once He set them in order, guess what's gonna happen? We're gonna make sure that they stay in order by God's law, statutes, and commandments. Read.
As well as unto you, and until they also possess the land which the Lord your God hath given them beyond Jordan.
Uh-huh.
And then shall ye return every man unto his possession.
Uh-huh. Jump down to verse 22.
Verse 22, ye shall not fear them.
He said, Lord said, don't fear them, man. Because when you read like in chapter 2, chapter 2 breaks down how the Anakims, they had the Emins, they was the big tall people, and the Zamzooms, they was the big tall people too, just as well. They were just different names of people that was big tall people that was in stature. If you can go back and read this chapter 2 verse 11, chapter 2 verse 2 and 20. Yeah, these people was just like the Anakims. They was tall in stature as well. Read on now.
Ye shall not fear them,
Mhm.
for the Lord your God, he shall fight for you.
Because we shouldn't fear nobody, man. Because the Lord gonna fight for us, man. Read.
And I besought the Lord at that time, saying,
Uh-huh.
O Lord God, thou hast begun to show thy servant thy greatness.
So now he's showing now. Moses said, well, Lord, you know you showing the Lord. Lord, you showing us your greatness, man. Read.
And thy mighty hand.
Uh-huh.
For what God is there in heaven or in earth that can do according to thy works?
So he, now, because the Most High keeps showing Moses over and over again, like, well, you just step back. I'm the one that's doing it. I'm going to tell everybody up. Just step back. And that's something that we got to get our mindset to do. That the Most High God said, you know what? I'm going to fight this. I'm going to fight this fight for you. You just step back. I got you. I got you. You think you by yourself? No, you're not by yourself. I don't care how big your problem or how big your situation is. The Lord said, just sit back. I got it. Read.
And according to thy might,
Uh-huh.
I pray thee, let me go over and see the good land that is beyond Jordan, that goodly mountain in Lebanon.
So now, this is Moses asking him. Because Most High God told him that he can't go over there to dwell in that land. But he still asked the Lord, can he see them? Can he see the land? But watch what the Lord say to him, man. Read that out.
But the Lord was wroth.
But the Lord got mad because Moses asked to see the land. Knowing that he did just as wicked as the rest of them. But guess what? The Most High God was dealing with Moses. So he let Moses see the land, man. Read.
But the Lord was wroth with me for your sake.
Because for our sakes, man, read.
And would not hear me.
And he didn't even want to hear Moses, man, read.
And the Lord said unto me, let it suffice thee. Speak no more unto me of this matter.
So he telling Moses, don't speak to me of this matter no more. I don't want you to tell me this no more. If this suffice you, for you to see it, don't tell me, don't ask me again, because you go see this again. Not of this matter, man. Read.
Get thee up into the top of Pisgah.
Pisgah is basically going into a mountain that's in Ashdod. Because when you jump back to 3 and 17, right quick. Deuteronomy 3 and 17.
Verse 17. The plains also in Jordan and the coast thereof, from Shinanir,
yeah, that's good enough.
Shinanir, even unto the sea of the plains, even the salt sea.
Even the salt sea, read.
Under Ashdod.
That's what Maccabee said he wanted to live. He make it to the kingdom, he want to stay in Ashdod, man. Right by the sea. I said, that sounds like a good place, Maccabee. Read.
That's Pisgah.
That's Pisgah. This is that. They putting all them words into one word, but it's going into the mountains of Ashdod. Jump back over to 27.
Verse 27. Get thee up into the top of Pisgah.
So why would you go into the top of Pisgah? Because Pisgah is a mountain. Read.
And lift up thine eyes.
And so he telling you to lift up. He told Moses to lift his eyes up. Read.
Westward. And northward. And southward. And eastward.
Read.
And behold it with thine eyes. For thou shalt not go over this Jordan.
So Moses got a chance to see the land of milk and honey, but he couldn't go over. Why? Because he did just like what the children of Israel did. You see how many times? Over and over again, the Most High had to keep showing Moses, like, hold up, Moses. I'm trying to give you a break, man. Moses like, Lord, hold up, Lord. Just kill me, Lord. Because Moses was dealing with stuff himself. Everybody deals with things in this walk. It's not going to always be easy. Some things that brothers say, guess what? You not going to like everything somebody brother say. And guess what? Sisters, y'all not going to like some of the things every sister say. But is that going to make you hate that brother? Or is that going to make you hate that sister? It does not make you hate. It shouldn't make you hate them. Hey, that's them got to deal with something. You got to work out your own self-salvation with fear and trembling, man. Something that we got to get in our mind. Even that, all the glory that Moses had, the Most High God was straight dealing with Moses. And Moses, guess what, man? I'm not trying to make Moses out to be a bad guy, but Moses was a man and he was dealing with things just like we are. We deal with things on a day-to-day basis, man, that the Most High God has to tell us, hey, Hey, I got this. But we got to believe that the Most High God got it too. Matthew chapter 28. We got to believe, verse 18. Matthew chapter 28, verse 18, man. We got to believe that the Most High got this, man. And if we don't start believing that the Most High got this, we're going to continue to keep going on the same path we on, man.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 28, verse 13.
18.
18. Like it. And Yahushua came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth.
So now, the Most High gave Yahushua the power over heaven and earth. Why? Because he is the word of the Most High God. Because whatever the word of the Most High God say, that will he do. Read.
Go ye, therefore, and teach all nations.
Why did he say go teach all nations? Because according to Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 27, we was going to be scattered among all nations. So that's why we have to go teach all nations, because our people are amongst all nations. Make sure brothers and sisters writing their precept down beside those things, man. Read.
Baptizing them in the same in the name, Shalaki, of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost.
How do we baptize them? According to Acts chapter 19 and verse 1 through 5. This is how we baptize them, with the word of the Most High God. Read.
Teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you.
Read.
And lo, I am with you always.
Because the Lord said, I am with you always, man. Read.
Even unto the end of the world.
Even unto the end of the world, the Lord said He's gonna be with us, man. And it's something that we have to believe, that the Most High God is gonna be with us until the end of the world, man. And somehow our spirit gonna have to coincide how the Most High said we're supposed to do. And with that, we're gonna say shalom, man. Those brothers and sisters, man, that's giving to the cause. All praise to the Most High. All praise to you brothers and sisters for tuning in. Like and share the video, man. Help us push this truth around the four corners of the earth, man. We always say follow law, statutes, and commandments. And so we're going to go get us a law. The law today is going to be Exodus chapter 14. I know we said it before, we're going to say it again today. The brothers and sisters, like I say, they gave to the cause. All praise to you brothers and sisters for doing that, man. That money won't go out board. We're going to be doing it according to how the Most High God tells us to do it, not how we do it our own will, man. Like we said, we say follow God, law, statutes, and commandment, and this is going to be our law for the day.
This is the law. Exodus chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace.
And that's all he expected us to do. So the Lord said he's going to fight for us. We just got to hold our peace, man. And with that,